system. And I'll give you guys probably 3, maybe 4 things to use today that you'll be able to run with to use Canva. I will tell you, I'm not a Canva expert, but I can whip something out on Canva in a matter of minutes now because it's not very difficult. The number one thing that I will tell you about Canva is just to go and play around with it. Just play around with it. You can't hurt it. If you accidentally delete something, you just go up to the top left-hand corner, hit the button, and it comes back. You cannot hurt Canva. That's the first thing. The second thing I recommend, if you're going to use Canva, get the Pro, Canva Pro. It's like $15 a month. It's a business expense. You can write it off. Canva is my favorite app ever. And I'm a techie. I've got the iPad, I've got the desktop, I've got the phone, I've got the Apple head. Like, I am a big time techie. Doesn't mean I know how to use it all, but I'm a huge techie. Canva is my favorite app that I've ever used because it kind of gets my creative juices going. And when you guys do certain things, I can be out in the field, go into my iPad, change the name on some of the templates that I have built, get it posted. So I know I post a lot of this stuff, but when you guys start to build your organizations, either hiring somebody or doing it yourself, I think it's going to be key because social media is key. Most of you guys are probably here because you saw a post on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever the case is, or you had a relationship with somebody and saw that they were here or they posted on some social media platform. So anybody have any questions before we dig in here? Okay, so you guys know I talk really fast. I deliberately told myself this morning I was going to slow down this morning, even though I'm having coffee. So if there's something you guys don't see, just tell me to back up because I can whip through this thing pretty quickly. All right, so I'm going to share my screen.
Corey, can I tell you what I'd like to know real quick, just so I
Absolutely. Please do. Nope, go ahead.
So you did one picture that you showed us the other day, and you used it as your example when you showed us how to change the background.
Yep.
But what you didn't show us is how do you make the other half, like you did that orange on the left side with a black squiggly in the middle. Mm-hmm. When you change the background, it only changed the picture on the right. So I'd like to know how to split the screen like that.
Perfect. Great question. Great question. So here's the first thing. When you guys first come out here, okay, when you first come out, if you look at the top left-hand corner of the screen, Family First Life Genesis, it says Pro. So Amy has our login and all that kind of stuff. So if you happen to have somebody, a teenager, college student, something like that, that's going to be doing this for you, I highly recommend just giving them the username, password. You don't have to create a second account and all that. I thought I had to do that. You don't. So that's, I guess, another little quick pro tip. Okay. The second thing is if you go down to where it says home, your projects shared with you, all those kind of things. Those are cool features. You really don't need to use them, but if you want to play around with them, you can. Where you're going to spend the majority of your time is you're going to have something that pops in your head that you're going to want to do. And if you go up to where it says, what would you design? You could literally punch in anything. So if I go in and I say, let's say, and I just literally just popped in my head, race cars. I guess race cars is 2 words, right? Look at all these designs. And they look beautiful, right? They're 4K. So what you can do, and I'm going to answer your question here, Renee. So this one just spoke to me. So watch this. I'm going to pick the one that says car racing class VIP May 13th, right? You guys all see that. It's the ticket, right? All you need to do to get into that is simply touch it. And it's going to come up on the screen. And then you're going to always, again, once you play around this, you do whatever you want, but you want to say keep current selection. Otherwise, it's going to take you into your pictures. All right. Now, everybody still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Back up. Okay. So let's just say, I want to change this to car racing. I just tapped on where it says car. So everything on here is movable. Everything's movable. Everything's changeable, including the colors, including the backgrounds, including the wording. So that little barcode that I just have, I'm going to twist it. Watch.
That is sweet.
Right? I'm telling you guys, you can do everything on here. And here's the deal. The reason I love this app is because I'm somewhat of a creative person, and then adding the creative in the business when you guys do stuff and you make sales and you have big days, it's awesome because I can come out here and whip some of these things out. But I'm going to show you guys something else that'll blow your mind. It'll really speed this up for you. Let's say I don't want that barcode, right? Delete. That's it. I just clicked on it and deleted it. Now let's say, oh man, I really did want that barcode on there, but I wanted to place it someplace else. If you guys will take your eyes up to the top left-hand corner of the screen, home, file, resize, and then you see that back arrow, the fourth option there. If I click on that, it's going to bring the barcode back. Okay. If you screw that up and you're like, oh man, I need the barcode again. If you go back over to where I'm always going to reference you guys back to the top left or right-hand corner of the screen. So back to the top left, you're going to see home, templates, elements. I'm going to click on elements, and this is going to give you everything you could possibly think of, right? So I'm going to go back there, and let's say I deleted the barcode and I can't find it. Barcode, there's barcode. So I'm going to delete this one. And let's say we want to go with this particular one, right? Doesn't matter which one. I'm just going to click on one, and you can see it's popped into the picture. Now, let's say I want to resize this one to fit right where the other one was. I'm going to grab the bottom white dot on the bottom right-hand corner, and I'm just going to resize it. And then I'm going to spin it, and I'm going to slide it over. Pretty cool, right?
Yes.
Hey, Corey, could we print World Series tickets off here?
If you got the right barcode, they might work. Or you'll go to prison, one or the other, because I'm sure.
I like your thinking, Brian, but I ain't going to prison with you though, bro.
No, what you do is you pay for the cheap ones, you make a fake one for box seats, and then they don't scan those once you're in there. I already thought of it.
Brian, we will send you commissary. How about that?
Thank you.
So any questions so far? And I mean, I can show you guys some stuff that's just crazy on here, and I'll show you a few things. But you can see it's easy to maneuver this. Go ahead, Gregory.
So you see where you have the different numbers on this ticket. What if you wanted to change the number? I mean, you want to use this kind of like the AA number, that AA 1 2 3 4 5. Just say you wanted to change that number, but you wanted it in that same font or whatever. You can just go in there and change that.
Yep. I just clicked on it.
Cool.
Hold on. I just clicked on it. Watch this.
Okay. Because I was thinking on the same lines of Brian. I wasn't thinking nothing illegal. I was thinking if you were, if you had a fundraising, you wanted to. But you did want to change. That's cool.
Let's say you were going to do this. So all I did was tapped on Gregory Pitts' name, right? When I tap on his name, you can see that I got the little cursor, right? Pretty common sense there. Watch this, Brian.
There, that's what I'm talking about.
And I hit enter, and there it is.
Now, if you could do Super Bowl, you'd be really the man.
Well, yeah, I prefer that. I love sports and I love the World Series. I'm a football dude, so.
Now, Corey, I know you've done a lot with GoDaddy websites, and when I used to have a business, I used it, and all the artwork is it the same as this basically? But this looks like it's a lot more friendly user.
I've tried other things. I tried probably 10 years ago some cheap form of Well, I shouldn't say cheap, it wasn't cheap. Illustrator. I just couldn't figure it out. And I'm one of those, if I get frustrated, unless it's like looking at policies and that kind of stuff that interests me, I check out pretty quick. This
looks really simple.
Here, it's ridiculously simple. You just literally click whatever you want to change. So you want to change this to gate. Where it says gate, I click on gate. If I want to change it to gate 100 instead of 105, I'm literally just going to go in, change this to gate 105, hit enter, and there it is. Now, if you need to reshape things, I'm glad that actually happened, to be honest. So you've got the 4 dots on each corner, and then you've got the ones on the left and the right. So that 105 reframed itself, right? All I have to do is grab that little line on the far right-hand side and stretch it. Everybody see that? Really simple. If I want to move that 105 closer to the gate, all I'm going to do is click on those numbers and just drag the box. That's it. To move it wherever you want to move it. So Renee, I'm going to get to your question here in just a second. I did not forget you. So we want to change that to VIP to MVP. It doesn't fit, so I'm going to restretch it. Now, here's another thing. So I'm going to give you a reference point. Let's go back to where it's home. Home, file, resize, back arrow, and then you have the forward arrow, and then you have the cloud with the check mark. Bottom right of the cloud, you see where it says Libre Baskerville. That's the actual font. Okay, so I'm going to click on where it says Libre Baskerville. There's an infinite, just endless number of fonts. Like, I can't tell you. And you see where the crowns are? Those are all pro. So if you don't get the pro account, which is, I think, $5-6, if you do not get the pro account, you will not have some of those other things. So what they're telling you is, if you don't get the pro account and you click on that, it's not going to work. It's going to try to upgrade you to pro. I highly recommend just getting a pro. You're going to be glad you have it.
And by the way, the annual is only $120, so it ends up being $10 a month.
Yep, exactly. And I did originally did the monthly, because I'm like, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or not. And it's just been, it's been awesome. I mean, you literally can change anything. So check this out. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go back to where we typed in what we were looking for. You guys can see the cursor, top left-hand portion of the screen. Search for anything on Canva. I'm going to say, I don't even know if this is going to work or not. I'm just going to type in BMW. Oh, I guess it did. So check this out. I'm going to hover over the car on our ticket. I'm going to delete the car, and let's find a really cool, I love BMW. So I know you do too, Gregory. We're going to put this sweet 3 Series in here. Check that out.
That's my car right there, except it ain't black.
Yeah.
It's got to be a 5 Series.
No, that's a 3. It's too small. Oh, you're saying it's got to be. No, brother, I go 7. I'm a big boy.
No, I'm talking about that picture.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That is a 3?
That's a 3, 100%.
Yeah, that's a 3.
That's a
Good
3
enough for me.
Yeah. So beautiful cars too. But you guys can see that. So it's very, very simple. It's very easy. It's very easy to maneuver. Let's say I don't want that particular picture. I'm going to tap on the picture and simply hit delete. That's all you have to do. So if I'm looking for another BMW, or I want something a little bit more sleek, or whatever the case is, you can see they have everything from cartoon pictures to motion pictures, whatever the case is. I'm just going to pick one, just going to pick another one. I guess if I stop scrolling, they'll show up. We're going to put this one on because that's pretty cool. So if I want to resize it, first of all, if I want to move it, I'm simply going to click on it and just put my finger on it and move it wherever I want to move it. If it's too big for that placement, you see you have the 4 dots and then the sides. I'm going to grab the dot from the bottom right and I'm going to reshape it and move it. Racing, I'm going to slide this down and I'm going to change this car. Okay, it's in my way. I'm going to change this car to BMW. BMW. It doesn't fit, so I'm going to stretch it. I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit. So you can see very quickly, you can make some things happen here. Pretty cool, right? Anybody have any questions about this so far? Because I can show you guys a bunch of other stuff, and I will today.
Nope.
So let's say we want to make the Super Bowl bigger, right? We've clicked on it, so clearly you're in the icon. You can see that. If we wanted to stretch it out because we wanted the font to be bigger, all you have to do, since I'm clicked on it, if you go up to where the font is, I don't even know how you say that word, Montserrat. We'll call it Montserrat. So if we go back up there, to the right of that is the size. I'm simply going to click the plus button. That's going to increase your font size. See it getting bigger? Now it's saying it's not going to fit on there. So now I got to grab, you got the 4 dots and then the sides. I'm going to grab the side and pull it up till the Super Bowl fits there. If I want to make it bigger, just keep clicking on it. Okay, it doesn't fit anymore. Simply going to pull the sides and then reframe it. Pretty simple stuff. Now, one of the things that I love about this app is it will actually give you a reference point. Here's what I mean by that. So I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. I'm going to try to center this picture on the center of the card, but watch what happens. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to drag it over. You see the line showing up? See that right there? You guys see the pink line and then the dotted center? That is the center of the card. So it gives you reference points to things, and the reference points that it gives you is probably one of my favorite things on here because it makes sure that things are staying congruent and they're lined up. If you have OCD like I do, when those lines pop up, it makes me a little bit happy, right? So I'm gonna click on this again and slide it. You see it's telling me, yep, you're right in the center. I lost it. There it is. That's the center of the picture. But if I want to move this down over here, you see at the very edge of that you see the dotted pink line. It's telling you optically, that's a great place for that to be. It gives you enough edge space compared to the top of the picture. Pretty neat, right? So since I accidentally did that, if I press down on this picture, you can see the options that it gives me. I just pressed down and held for like half a second. You can see all the stuff that all the options that it gives me. Okay, so if I wanted to remove something or bring things back forward or link this to something or animate, like when you saw the car moving, you can animate this thing so it'll slide things in, which I'll show you guys here in just a second. All kinds of things you can do, but again, you cannot mess this up. All right.
Hey, can I chime in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just so you're obviously doing it on your iPad. The majority of the time I'm doing it on my laptop, which is not a touch screen. So obviously it's both computer, desktop and mobile friendly. But what I can do, like if I'm on the computer, but I want the picture on my phone, I have Canva on my phone too. So once I log into it, I just download it to my phone. So I can design it on my computer, but then I can get it right to my phone. So it's very, very good that way. That's all.
That's a good tip. Thanks. I like that.
Yeah. I do a lot. I probably do 95% of it on my phone, or excuse me, on my iPad. But when I'm on the go and you guys make sales and stuff like that, or somebody has a record day or whatever, I literally have templates, which I'm going to show you guys that here in just a second. But you guys can see pretty quickly how you can create stuff really quick. Okay. This is just another little quick pro tip, things that you guys will run by and be like, oh, okay, that's pretty simple. My eyes are getting worse as I get older, just like a lot of us, right? Bottom right-hand portion of the screen, you should see it says 101, and then you're going to see a line there. If you need to make something bigger, I'm simply going to grab that dot and drag it. Okay. Pretty simple, something I use quite a bit or whatever, because I want to make sure things are lined up properly. But at this point, you guys understand, if you want to change something, just click on it. You can see it turned it sideways at one admission. And I'm just going to type in family. And it doesn't fit. So I'm going to have to make it fit. So let's make the size smaller. You guys can see it shrinking.
How come it didn't turn?
Because of the size. Like I said, sometimes you have to play with it. It doesn't like that size to fit there. So I just have to keep making it smaller. I'm just tapping the minus button and there it goes. And you see the line show up again? It's telling me that that family is properly centered there. If I move it up, you can see it's telling me that it works properly. Now you see it if I keep moving it. But if I wanted to make sure it's center, there it is. And sometimes it'll give you a straight line, a dotted line. Sometimes it'll give you if it gives you a hard line, that tells you that you're dead center. But you guys can play around with that. It's not rocket science by any stretch. All right, another quick little tip here. You guys will love this. So if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to create one of these for Cecile and one for Renee and one for Mark and one for Brian. Right above where it's in that red part of the tear off part of the ticket, right above where it says family, you see you see the plus with like the 2 sheets of paper. I'm just going to click on that and it duplicated it. And then you can make whatever changes you want. So if you wanted to change the name so that, you had a ticket for each person, if you're doing a birthday party and you wanted to customize it, instead of it saying, let's say little guy's name is Frank. You can put Frank on this ticket. There it is. You can put, it's pretty much got your name spelled, Amy. So Amy on that ticket. Need to create another one, just tap the button. So you don't have to recreate in just that quick. You got your birthday passes. Pretty cool. All right, you don't want those. You see the trash can to the right of the plus button, just delete it. Pretty easy. If I didn't want to delete those, I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to delete Sam's. Top left-hand corner, home, file, resize, back arrow. Click the back arrow, there's Amy. Click it again, there's Sam. Pretty cool. All right, top right-hand corner where it has CW, you see it says neutral vintage retro car racing ticket. If you double click on that, you can change that. So if you have templates, we're just gonna call this BMW racing ticket. So you'll see that when you go back out there. So if you create templates for certain things and you just want to be able to go in and change them really quick, you can do that. And I'm going to show you guys what I do here really quickly, give you guys some of my little secrets. All right. Any questions before we move forward? All right. So I'm going to click on the left-hand portion of the screen. I'm going to go back and I'm going to click templates right underneath home, top left-hand corner. And it's going to take you back to where we start, basically where we started at the beginning of that ticket. You also see that this is a pro, and you also see where it says recently used. So if there's anything that you were, just messing around with when you were out there, some stuff that you were doing and you wanted to go back out, when you come up, your recently used will be up there. All right. They also have underneath that for you, things that they'll recommend for you based on you looking up that specific thing, like we looked up tickets. So I'm going to click on the one that says Black Friday sale, and it's going to put it on the screen. So we're going to say, nope, just replace the current. And very simply, if I click on the picture, I can move the picture around. I can replace the picture. I can do whatever I want to do with it. All right. So let's say I'm going to go back into where it says search templates. I'm going to put in party. All right. Party. Let me go back here really quick. I want to confuse you guys. Let's say background. Okay, so background. Go back up to the top left. If I'm confusing you guys, let me know. Home, template, elements, camera roll, uploads, text, and background. I'm going to click background. Renee, this is going to answer your question. Okay, so we've got this background. It's a little dark, right? And we want to spice this thing up a little bit. You can see all the colors and stuff that you have available to you up top. So let's go something crazy here. I'm going to click on the green, and it automatically flips it to green. Just that quick. Let's say we wanted to go with the landscape. I can click on landscape and it changes it. Pretty neat, right? You want to change the font for Black Friday? I'm going to click on it. And again, just the same thing as we did in the last example. We're going to say Easter Sunday. Doesn't fit. I'm going to grab the little box on the side, stretch it till it fits, tap the screen, and there you go. We want to get rid of the barcode over here. We're going to simply click on, these are individual barcodes, so I'm not going to screw with that for now, for time's sake. But we want to make the 50% bigger. Simply click on it. I go up to where the font, where it changes the font, and you can see the size is 39.3. I'm just going to tap on that and make it as big as I want to make it, and then stretch it out. Pretty simple. Make the cell bigger, click on cell, go back up to the font size, make it bigger, grab the little box, stretch it. That confuse anybody? Pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff. Now, this is awesome. So I'm going to click on uploads. Again, left-hand side, home, template, elements, camera roll, uploads. When I click on uploads, any picture that I've uploaded to this is going to be there. Okay. So let's say I want to add the third row down, bottom right. We're going to add that family. Looks like grandparents there. I'm going to click on that. And when I do, it's going to add the picture. We're going to erase Fabio here. And we're going to erase that background too. I'm going to tap on the grandparents and I'm going to slide them over. Pretty cool, huh? Now watch this. This is one of my favorite things on here, and Amy had to show me how to do this because I'm not smart enough to get on Google. So check this out. I'm going to click on the picture of the grandparents. Now you guys will use this a lot. You'll use this a ton. You're going to be happy I showed you this. So up top of the screen, home, file, resize, back arrow, front arrow, and then you've got the cloud button where it says edit image. I'm going to click on edit image, and then it's going to say BG removal. What that means is background removal. Now keep in mind, you can't hurt this, right? When you click background removal, watch what it does to the picture. And the more you use this with certain pictures, it'll just, I mean, you'll click on it and within a couple seconds, it'll be there. See how it removed the background of the picture? Isn't that cool? And then
Yes,
you
it
can tap
is.
on the picture and then
Yeah,
you
that's
can move
nice.
it wherever you want to move it. So for contour, because you want to get rid of the edge of the picture, let's just make the picture a little bit bigger and pull it down to where it looks like, you know, they're cut off there so you don't have that hard edge. And there you go. Want to make it bigger, click on it, just pull one of the edges up. Isn't that neat?
Now I know why you're addicted to it. It's fun stuff.
When I tell you it messes with my creative juice, like I'm constantly on here. I love this app. This is what I do late at night when I'm, you know, can't sleep or whatever. I'll put a bunch of these things together, which I'll show you guys. And then all I have to do is just go back in and add it or change
Okay.
things. It's really
So
neat.
how do you add the half of the ticket as like the orange with the black squiggly line in the middle?
All right. So let's say you want to go, well, let's go back up to, blah, 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 blah. Let's go back to template. And we're going to go, I don't know how to spell squiggly. So we're just going to say lines, and squiggly lines will show up for sure. That's not where I want to go. Elements. There we go. Elements, lines. And if you got Pro, it's going to change. It's going to give you just a ton of stuff. So I'm going to hit enter. And it's just going to give you more lines than you know what to do with. You want them to be, you want them to move, you want to make them bigger, smaller, you want them to be curved, wavy, whatever. So let's just say you wanted to add this little accent line because this one spoke to me for whatever reason. And I want to make it smaller. I'm going to click on it, bring the size down, drag it over. And what it does is it gives you other recommendations as well. If you look at where it says magic recommendations, and sometimes you'll look at it and it'll be like, oh yeah, that one's kind of cool. Or yeah, I want to use that one, or you want to change something. So check this out, Renee. So now you can see I'm hovered over it, right? I'm going to click up at the top. Solway is the font, 51.7 is the size, and you can see the color grid. So I'm going to click A, and then it's going to, this is really cool. So what it's telling you is it's going to pull, it color matches everything that's on here. So it's telling you where it says photo colors. If you guys can't see that, let me know. But where it says photo colors on the far right-hand side, it's separated all of the major things inside of your ad that you're building, and it's telling you what the color swatches are. Sorry, guys, if you don't know what that is. Gentlemen, I should say. But it separates them out by color swatches, so your colors all match based on the ad that you've created. All right? Renee, I didn't forget your question. I'm getting to it.
Okay.
So here's the deal. We've got that blue color, but we want all of our colors to match based upon what the photo colors are. So I'm going to change that blue to kind of a burnt orange that matches the cars and stuff like that in that background picture. So I'm going to go where that little, the background is under photo colors, and I'm going to click the 5th color over. Let me move that, click on that. Let me see. All right, this is going to stretch me here. Oh gosh, I can't believe I just did that. Now, I made the mistake here, but watch this. I'm going to click on home, top left-hand, or excuse me, left-hand side where it says home. I'm going to click back on home. And the last thing that we worked on is the top left-hand side. So I'm going to click back on that, and it's going to take you right back to where we were. Okay. Let me see this here, Renee. I'm going to duplicate this here really quick, because I know there's a way to change the color on here. Edit. That's not it. Crop, flip, animate. No. Hold on, Renee, because I know there's a way to do this, but I don't want to waste you guys' time either while I try to figure it out.
What are elements, I think?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out. I went into elements, but it should have just come up. There is a way to change it, Renee. I'll figure it out and get back with you. But it's
Sometimes
very
you
simple.
just gotta click around and you find
Yeah,
things as you
and
click
that's
around.
why I was talking about just playing with this stuff. But that's usually really simple. Usually it's just a click of a button and then changing the color. Well, I'm glad you're on, Amy. All right.
Okay, so let's say we rotate that to the tear off portion of the ticket. How do we change the background, say on the section that has 50%?
Right. So let me show you a way that I know how to do that. Okay. So let me come back and I'm going to go back to home. Okay. Now keep in mind, a couple different things that you guys can do to start new. Again, with that box, what would you like to design? Or you can also hit create a design, top right-hand corner. It's going to take you to both places. Keep in mind, you have to be mindful for the most part where you're wanting to create an ad for. Are you putting it on Insta? Are you putting it on Facebook? Are you putting it on TikTok? Because they have different sizing. Most of the time they'll fit, unless you do stuff that's odd size. And I'll show you that here in just a second as well. Okay.
Corey,
So,
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Would it be safe to say that when putting these different pictures or whatever you want to call them, JPEGs, they're all really in layers. So if you get confused on how to maneuver them, just remember which one you put on first, second, or third if they're touching each other. Would that be correct?
Yeah. Because if you guys can see what I just screwed up a second ago, it was all layered on top of each other, right? You had sale, then you had Easter, then you had the little squiggly line that we put on there. So yeah, you're absolutely correct, Brian. That's a great point. Like it's all layered on top of each other. So I'm going to grab the Sunday, Easter, and drag it over by the family. So to Brian's point, it's layered to where you can't see that. But if I were to have done this, show you guys what I'm talking about here. And let me go back to camera roll and let me add the people to it. If you
can remember what
first,
you put, when you can remember what order you put them in, then it's easier to go, oh my God, how do I get this one to move? I can't get it to move.
Yeah. Well, you'll be able to get it to move because all you got to do is tap on it and move it. But to your point, you're absolutely correct. See what I just did there? See how the Easter Sunday is over top of the picture now? That's what Brian's talking about, is layering it. So I don't know if you guys caught that or not, what I did, but watch this. So I'm going to delete the family. But before I delete that family, can you guys see that? I'm just going to change the color just so you guys can see it. See how that's over the top of the picture? Now watch this. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete the family. I'm going to drag this up. And I'm going to put the family back. Now the family is over the top of it. So that's what Brian's talking about, like with the layering. If you mess that up, all you got to do is go back or just copy paste. And as you can see, when you have different, what they call pages on here, you can drag something from one page to the next, or click the plus button and just recreate the slide.
So is there anything like how PowerPoint does it, where if you left click in it, or where it says you can move behind, forward?
Christy, there very well may be. There may be. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I know all of everything on Canva. I guarantee you what you're saying is on here. I guarantee it. I just don't know how to do it because I haven't used it.
Hey, I got another tip.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know specifically. I haven't ran across that yet, Christy. But usually what I do, I don't know if you guys seen it. I make baby shower invitations. I'm my daughter's wedding, save the dates. Like I make anything in here that you could pay somebody to make, and I'll print it off on cardstock, or I'll send it to like Office Max or something to print it off. Yeah, there's my daughter's save the date. So she sent me a picture of what she wanted, and it was pretty much identical to this.
No, it was
and I just
exactly
it.
Like, yeah. Looked exactly like
so it. Again, you can say prices, but what I was going to say is, when I'm designing, I always make a second page, because I will drag things down to it when I'm designing it. That way I don't have to delete them. And then when I want it again, like if I wanted something on the top layer, I would bring it back up once I had, the things in the background the way that I wanted them. So it kind of just, helps to have that second page, when you're designing, because like he just showed you, you can bring things from the top design down to the bottom one. And then when you need them, you can drag them back up to the top.
That's a good idea, because that's what I do with PowerPoint. I just take it to a different page and bring it right back up. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Instead of deleting it, going to find it again, or whatever, you just drag it back up when you need it.
So good point. Check this out. So watch this. I'm going to click on the BMW thing, since we just created that, right? And let's say I want this family, and I'm like, man, I was creating something else and that family would be perfect. I'm going to come back into the BMW racing. I'm going to click and hold. It's going to give me the options. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to go back home again. And I'm just going to pull up another I'm just going to pull up Amy's deal. Amy, I'll erase it. But I'm going to take that picture of that family. I'm just going to press anywhere on Amy's design. I'm going to press and hold, and I'm going to put paste. And there's that family. And then I want to remove the background. Remember, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click edit image, edit image, remove background. It's going to spin and do its thing. And there you go. Let me go back and hit the back so I don't want to mess up her framing there. Pretty cool, right? Renee, didn't forget your question. You're probably like, I wish you just answered my damn question.
That family is going to show up everywhere from now on.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be like the family. Amy, I'm just going to randomly send you a picture of that family. So if I put that on Slack,
that'll be like
our little
theme family or family theme thing.
I'm putting it on my church programs right now.
Oh my, just in the bottom right-hand corner. What's up with that family on there?
Amy's daughter's going to have invitations like, why is there a random family in the bottom?
Yeah. In the baby shower invite, I'll just, drop it in there. Yeah.
That's great.
Hey, that's grandma and grandpa.
So Renee, here you go. So top right-hand corner, you've got YouTube podcast coverage, you've got CW, you've got the grid, you've got the down arrow, and then you've got the upload thing. If you go just slightly down, you're going to see like looks like a piece of paper with a plus. I'm going to hit that. And now you see I have a blank slate, right? A couple different ways you can do that. Once you get in here and play around, you can do that. But let's just say you're like, that background, I don't want that background. I'm going to click backgrounds on the far left-hand side of the screen. I'm going to click background, and I'm going to change that background to white. I'm going to change the background to red. I'm going to change it to aqua blue, whatever mauve color this is, and then let's call it brown or whatever. So let's go back to white because this will make sense. So we're going to go, I'm going to put in, to split this, Renee, what I typically do is if I have a picture that I want to put in, I'll take the picture and I'll put the picture on there. So I'm going to click on a picture. I'm going to slide it over. I'm going to reshape the picture so that it fits, right? Drag this up to the edge, do my little handiwork there. And now you've got the right-hand side of the screen, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to make this perfect just so you can see it. Now, I'm going to go back to background. This is so simple, Renee. You're going to be like, oh, I could have figured that out. What color do you want the second half of your sheet to be, Renee?
Red.
Ta-da.
So just an FYI, anywhere on these templates, if you click it, it will show you the box around it and what that specific area will change. Like the text boxes, the photos, the backgrounds. If you click on it, you'll get a square around it or a rectangle or whatever the shape is. And that's showing you like this item can be changed, which literally everything. You can take a template that they designed in there and delete it to be a blank white nothing.
Yep.
Like everything on there is editable.
Editable, everything. So watch this, Renee. So above where you guys saw me changing all the pictures of the background and all that, I was messing with you, Renee, because I knew it was going to take me 2 seconds to show you. That's why I kept messing with you. But you're going to see, looks like a color palette, right? I'm going to click on that. And now what it's doing is it's telling you all the colors. These are the main colors that are in what's already on the screen. So this is making sure that we're getting the same color red that's in that heart. That makes sense, Renee? Pretty simple. Yeah.
Hey, will you go back to, you may have just been going to your elements and to the squiggly lines and then put a squiggly line going vertically between the red and the.
Well, like your picture, actually, the background curved with the squiggly line. In the orange and black one that you had, that you showed us yesterday, where you changed the background, like the background was actually cut off with the squiggly line. So
that meant me just in there messing around with it, and it looked good, so I left it. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason.
Some elements come that way.
Yeah.
So it may just have been the element or the background or the design that he chose at that time that made it, that appeared curved. Corey, do you remember which one you showed?
I don't.
It was orange on the left, like a burnt orange on the left with a black squiggly line, and you showed us how to change the background on it yesterday. But it was completely tailored to the black squiggly line.
That could have been a suggestion that they gave.
Do you want to go back out to home and see if you can find
Yeah,
it?
it's gonna. Yeah. What ad? Do you know what the ad was, Renee?
No. Let's see.
So let me show you these while we're Renee, if it comes up to you, if you can think of it, just let me know. I'm happy to do that. So let me show you guys this. I wanted to do something different because I know visually, if you guys see the same thing all the time, you guys just kind of check out, right? So watch this. This is going to be really cool. Show you guys how quickly you can do this. So
yeah,
I'm going to go
to a cool example how the orange is tailored.
Okay, that was a template. That was literally a template, and I just grabbed this template and then added what I wanted to. This literally, guys, this took me probably a minute, literally.
It's
so watch
much
this.
easier to look through the templates and pick a template and change that than it is to start from scratch and use your own brand. Unless you have something in your mind that you know you want, I would look through templates like I did for the baby shower. I typed in baby shower at the top. I knew it was a princess theme, so I put princess and girl, and it gave me all of any template in there that had to do with a princess and a baby girl. And then I started with one, and I moved things that I didn't like, inserted things that I did like, changed colors. So I started with a base, basically a basis or whatever the word is I'm trying to say, and then built on top of it instead of starting from scratch.
So that's a good point, Amy, too. So what I do, Renee, when I come out here, and I know everybody thinks differently, I kind of have something in my head of what I want it to look like. So I've been like doing these for a while. I'm like, I need to change it up because I know it'll grab you guys' attention, which will get more likes, which gets people more interactive and keeps you guys active on Slack, right? So you guys can see I've created a couple of different things from one different ad. Mark's ad, Renee's ad, same thing. All I did was change the background. That's all. That's literally all I did. So, and then moved a couple things around. So check this out. Let me go back to this one. Okay. I'm going to put I'm going to put Ryan and his family in Renee's spot. I'm simply going to click on Ryan's picture and I'm going to drag it over Renee. Done.
Hey, can you change the tower or the building background?
I'm going to take the FFL logo and make it the background. Watch. I'm going to click on it and drag it. And just that quick.
Now do inserting go to backgrounds and insert just like a completely different background.
Yep.
Not a color, like a scenery or something. Yeah.
I don't like it. Hit the back arrow. And we're good. We're back to our original. Now,
hey, another pro tip. TikTok, if you type in Canva, there's people that do tutorials on this stuff. And it's like genius stuff. And it's things that aren't basic that most people wouldn't know, but that's how I learned how to do the background, removing the background is I watched a TikTok.
And I just went to, after Amy told me, I just went on the YouTube and typed in removing background, a picture of on Canva. And there was like a 41-second video. And then I was like, wanting to punch myself in the face. So let's say I want to take Ryan's picture out and put Mark's picture in. Drag it. There it goes. Just that simple. Smagala's picture. Just drag it till it pops in there. That's it.
That looks perfect. That
looks fantastic, except your name's not Renee. But well, let's say I wanted to change that.
I had some surgery.
You look a lot worse now, Brian. So let's say congratulations. And we're going to change this to Brian.
Congratulations to Brian for getting out of his prison after writing those fake Super Bowl tickets.
Exactly.
Me and Ray Lewis.
Or Ray Carew, right? So you want to change it. You want to move stuff around. You want to make it, see, I'm dragging the button there. So I can resize this if I wanted to, so it looks like I want. If I want to move it so that it fits, so I'm not over the top of the logo, I just drag it down and then just move it wherever I want it to reframe it. If I want to change the font, this is an Anton. So I'm just going to click on that, and it's going to pull up some of the, the more popular ones or the ones that you've used a lot. And I'm going to change this from Anton to Horizon. So let me go back in here and click and highlight. There we go. Highlight, just so you guys can see it. I'm not going to change them all of them, but okay, I made a mistake. So I hit the back arrow. And then I'm going to change this from Anton to Horizon. And then all I have to do is make it smaller. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Bring the font down so it fits. Drag it to where I want it and go from there. I mean, it literally is that simple. If I made a mistake, I'm just going to go back and click the back arrow. And it's going to take me back to where we originally were. And I can go all the way back to, I think it'll let you click about 7 or 8 times to go back to the original picture.
There you go, Brian. This is your goal for this month, buddy.
Right there you go.
He's not deleting that.
Putting it out there in the ether. You got about 14 days. So when you guys saw me change the background of that picture, there was a couple different ways I went to background, just as Amy mentioned, and you could drop that in. There's certain pictures and templates where if you drag something over it, it automatically changes it. So again, if I grab the Rogue IMO, the FFL logo, and drag it towards the center, you guys can see it changed it. So that dot that's there, if I click on that dot, I just click on it, hit delete, it's gone. Right? If I say I don't want the FFL faded in the back, which that does look kind of cool, I'm going to hit the back arrow. And there you go. It went back to its original state. So the point that Amy made earlier in reference to like templates and stuff like that, I mean, it's infinite. I mean, literally, and they're constantly adding stuff. Let's say I went in here and put sleep. I mean, and it automatically grabbed the font that was in there. So then you just go in and change what you want. You want to change the background. You want to change the colors of the font. It's pulling, again, the colors that are part of the color palette as a default. So you're keeping the colors within the same scheme so it doesn't look weird. If you wanted to go crazy, you can. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Top left-hand corner says document colors. I'm going to click where it says the color ring with the plus. And you can literally drag and make these whatever you want. You want it to be a shade of green. I'm going to drag it over to green and then move it in the grid. I mean, you can do anything with this app, anything. So I'm going to show you guys my little trick. So I'm going to go back to my templates and let's go to, let's go here. Now, this does take me a little time every week because I got to make sure everything's counted up properly and everything. But agent top 5 of the week, top 5 agents of the week in reference to families protected, weekend warriors. I've already got most of this stuff built. So if I want to change it up, that's all I have to do is just go in and change it. FFL Genesis weekly totals. There's the actual numbers, which we can share with you guys, but we can't do that for the FTC. So I just put it here.
How
and
did
literally
you find that template, that background?
I just went in and just put in celebration or happy or whatever the hell I put in there, because this has been forever ago. So obviously Easter.
Yeah, that was one of our first.
That was one of the
first backgrounds.
Actually, Renee, I think it started with this O snap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a blank slate. I'm going to hit O snap, and that's where that came from. See this here? Hold on. See that?
Yeah.
I just drug that up here, but watch this. That's the same template. I just changed it.
Also, those little dots on top of the reddish colored background, you can move just the dots. You just have to make sure you click on the box that the dots, and you could completely remove them altogether.
That's what Brian
and then
was
you could
talking
change
about
the background to black like he did.
Yeah. You guys see me moving that?
Yeah.
Watch
Again,
this.
everything
That's
is
the same
layers
dot.
and everything is editable, unless
You
it's
just keep
a
clicking.
template that they like designed, like that rate, like the lights one from that ticket with the car. You can't change that,
But you'll figure that out pretty quickly that you can't change it. So you're not going to be spending a bunch of time. Doesn't fit. I'm going to resize it. I'm going to drag it over a little bit. There we go. Resize it to get the S on there. There we go. I'm going to bring the size down a little bit. Move that up. We're going to change the background let's see if this works. Background, we're gonna go black. We want this to be a different color. Let's go red. Oh, I think it's because of how I have that position. I'm not going to put too much time into it, but background's green. We can move that around, change the font. And let's say we wanted to add some of our images to it. So let's go integrity. Let me get rid of that. We're going to say integrity. Anybody have any questions as we're going through this? And you see the dotted pink line? That's telling me that the center of that integrity block, the center of that integrity block is at the center of the entire picture. So I want to try something here really quick. I'm going to remove the integrity background of this. So it's just floating without the white background. And there it is. So that's kind of cool. We need to change the background there because it's this green background's not liking that color, right? So let's see if we go, see if this works. There we go. Anybody have any questions? Show you guys a couple more things and then we'll let you go unless you guys had more questions. So we want to move this guy around. We're gonna move that guy around. And then we want to add, so upload, we're going to add logos. So we're going to add the worldwide logo. We're going to add the Genesis logo. And I could have just taken the background of the other one. I'm trying to find the FFL logo really quick. All right, the heck with it. So we're going to click on the logo. Get this out of the way. Stretch that to make it bigger. There we go. Grab the worldwide logo, stretch it, slide it over, layer it, as Brian was talking about. $1 million, integrity, we kept that right in the middle, and we're done.
Cool beans.
It's not difficult. It's just a matter of going in and playing around with it. But you
It
can
was
see
literally all trial and error with us. We just go in and mess around until we find things.
Yeah. We're gonna add Chris to this. We're gonna remove Chris's background. We're gonna go edit image, remove background. I've taken the background of this picture, so it shouldn't take very long. And it's just gonna have Chris there. It's gonna remove his entire vehicle. It's just smart how this thing knows how to do that. I'm gonna reshape Chris here. Reshape him again. Reshape him one more time, Chris. Pretty cool. So I'm gonna go back to templates, back home, and I'm gonna pull up the podcast one. And I just made one of Chris the other day. There it is right there. Pretty cool. Any questions? All right, I'm gonna show you guys a really cool trick that you guys can use. It shouldn't matter your phone, Android. I cringe when I see pictures of people when they post on Facebook because I used to do this all the time. So I'm gonna screenshot. Hold on one second. I'm gonna screenshot this. I'm gonna click on the picture and then actually, I'll make this easier on myself. Screenshot, go to my pictures. I'm going to find that picture. Now, you guys can do this on this should work exactly the same on any electronic device, probably except for a laptop. You guys are going to thank me so much for this because you can do this with your own personal pictures before you post them to social media. You guys ever seen a picture posted on social media and it's got this giant 4-inch space at the top, black, and then the edges are weird, and then the bottom has got another 2-inch, and then the picture of whatever they were trying to show? You guys ever seen that?
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about? Or maybe I'm dreaming. Okay. On your iPad, at least, this should work the same if you guys have Android devices. Top right-hand corner, all I did was screenshot this and I went into my pictures. That's all I did, went into my photos. I'm gonna hit edit. And on the far right-hand side, this might be on the left-hand or the bottom side of your laptop, or excuse me, your electronic device. You can do this on a phone as well. I'm gonna click that little, looks like 2 lines that they've kind of put together. It's the bottom one. Everybody see what I'm talking about? I'm doing a terrible job of illustrating this.
No.
Okay, left-hand side of my screen. Maybe, I don't know if you can you guys see that left-hand side of my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got the, looks like the dial. Then you've got the 3 circles. One is the center top one is brighter than the others. And then the third
crop.
option.
It's the box to crop.
Thanks. I was like, what is that word called? I simply tap the crop button. And now you can see there's kind of a hard edge around the picture, around the entire picture. I'm going to grab the bottom and pull it up to right where I want it to be. I'm going to grab the side and pull it to where I want it to be. I'm going to pull it from the top. And then I'm going to pull it from the other side. I'm going to hit done. And there you go.
Can you show them how to download this from Canva? Because if you download it to your device, you won't even have to crop it because it'll automatically go to your device.
Okay, so let's go back to Chris again. Actually, we'll just use this one of Renee's. And we're going to delete this because we don't need it. Okay. Oops. Make sure I'm on that document. This is what you're talking about, download?
Yeah.
So I don't do this much anymore. I just crop the pictures. But if you had a picture where you created, I don't know if you guys remember, about 30 minutes ago, we did the one with the BMW and it was actually driving. Looks like the wheels are moving. You can upload those kind of videos and stuff to social media. It's pretty neat. I've had some issues with it. That's why I don't do it much anymore, but it does seem to work. But if you went to, Amy, you're talking about just simply clicking download here, right?
Yes, I use download a lot because I use my computer to design. So then it just saves it. Basically, it saves it to my computer and I can go to, file in my computer, downloads, and it's on my actual laptop.
And I think it's already reshaped properly, correct?
It will show up exactly how it looks right there. There's no cropping done. That's why I said it's easier if you click on save as image, it'll go to your device exactly how it appears. If you click on download, it'll be downloaded to your laptop or your device just as it appears. So then that saves that whole cropping step. You don't even have to do any of that. You don't have to screenshot it. You don't have to crop it because downloading it or saving as image does it for you.
So I need to start doing that more. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And by the way, I just clicked on the top right-hand corner with the up arrow, and that's where it gives you those options. You can connect your social media pages and then literally just click, and drop. I'm pretty sure it'll let you put text and stuff in there too, but I've already got templates built. That's why I just go directly to my social media, put the picture on there, put whatever text I want to put on there, and then send it that way.
Hey, click on the down arrow. It's saving it.
Mm-hmm.
So then if you go out to your
photos,
it's there. Again, the features sometimes work different, obviously on a desktop, laptop, as they do a mobile device. And it depends on which one you're doing it on. If I'm designing it on my computer, but I know I'm going to need it on my phone, because I post, like when I post the numbers every day, I post that from my phone, because for some reason, when I try to do it on my desktop, it doesn't let me post photos. It's like Canva or Slack is saying I don't have enough space or something. So I'll do the numbers on my desktop, but then I'll go and I'll save. I have the design saved, and then I submit that to Slack on my phone. So again, they're just compatible. You can do it on a laptop, but go to the Canva app on your phone, and exactly what you just did on your desktop laptop is going to be on your phone or iPad.
Any more questions? Elements, I'm going to put a heart. I'm going to move the heart just to be a little diagonal.
Hey, show how to duplicate if they wanted 2 hearts instead of going and dragging another heart.
I personally would just copy. And
I usually on the little the little, I mean, I guess you're on your iPad, so it would be different for you. I would click on the little duplicate icon. But again, once you're on whatever device you're on,
you're gonna figure out what you want and how you want it to be and that kind of stuff. What else, guys?
That is it. I do need to jump off because I have to
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no
I
worries.
appreciate it for this. Yeah, this is really
No problem.
helpful. Thank
Cool.
you.
Yeah,
You're
that
welcome.
was really
So-
good. Thank you.
So Corey, you were doing all of this on your iPad, right?
Yep, I do it all on my iPad and my phone.
Good.
I'd say 5% of it's on my iPad. I have templates and stuff that are already set up. So, it makes it really like this. I've been wanting to do this for probably the last 2 months. And last night, I'm like, this is stupid. I just need to do it. I've already put this on Slack, but this probably took me 15 minutes, literally 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's sweet. I like that.
Yeah. Yep. So Amy, if you would PDF this for me and I can get it onto the website. I meant to send you that message last night, but I know you were doing stuff with the kids. So, yeah. So like I said, we've already got a bunch of templates and stuff like that built. Like the strings, some are more masculine than others. So I will change some of them, right? So that's that one that Renee was asking about, the template. I don't know what this particular template is called, but I just go in, start typing stuff in, literally whatever pops in my head. And then I just start building from there, because once it gives you the format, and those are our colors. So when I saw that one, our colors are that orange and blue and white. I'm like, oh, that fits our colors perfectly.
I think that's going to be my biggest problem is I'm not like really creative to think of what to look up for templates.
Don't overthink this, because just don't do that to yourself. I'm telling you, when you go in here, when you go to templates, it's going to start pulling stuff up for you anyway. So let me give you an example. When you come in here, it's already going to start giving you. So let's say you wanted to make an Instagram post. Well, it says Instagram post. So I'm going to tap on that. All these fonts are already preset for Instagram. So as Amy was saying, when you go in here and you start building things, this is preset for Instagram. Now, Facebook owns Instagram, so it's going to size them properly for that as well.
So if you just search through all of those, you'll find something that's out to you that
it's going to jump out at you.
Oh, yeah. I kind of like that. I don't like that it has pizza on there, but I can take the pizza out and put a picture of a person in there. Or I don't like that it's purple, so I'll make it red. Yeah.
First of all, I knew how to spell. It's like, I'm telling you, it'll jump out at you. You won't have to be like, oh, what am I going to do? Like I'll say, I'm going to create more, weekend warrior things or whatever. So I'll come out here and type in business. If there's something that says warrior in it on here, it's probably going to be something military based, right? So if I wanted to create, for some reason, that's pulling up stuff for gym or people working out, right? But I like this one, just kind of spoke to me. So I could come out here and change this very quickly to, if I can get it to stop fat fingering this thing here.
And if you accidentally deleted that text box, just go over to text on the left and you can add in another text box. I don't think you showed that.
I know why it's not doing that, but so I'm going to do that. I don't like that purple. So I'm going to change that to black. And let's see if we can't modify the chief there, but I'll do that at another time. I mean, you could very easily modify and change some of these things. So like you can see Renee, how you can see that's the border, it's telling you that it's over that back, right, that back corner.
Yeah.
So let's say I wanted to change that color, and you can see up where it says edit image, you can see it's that pinkish color. If I tap that, it's going to give me whatever like background that I want. I'm going to change this to red. I mean, it's just that simple. So you'll see things on here that'll just kind of grab your attention. So you don't have to worry about trying to be super creative and all that kind of stuff. You'll see stuff that'll grab your attention, and then you just go in because everything's editable. So then I can go here, I can go back to my uploaded images, and I'm going to add Tim's logo. There's the FFL logo. There's worldwide. And then we'll add our Genesis logo right here. They're all layered, just as Brian mentioned. I'm going to make this one a little smaller here and drag this guy here. I'm rushing, by the way, because I just want you guys to see this, but you can create stuff here just so quickly. And there's
You could get
a
rid of the
million
chief
different
or
ways to
whatever the Native American, whatever that is. You could get rid of that altogether if you didn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
want that.
Yeah.
You liked everything else in the template, but you didn't like that. You don't need that. You could even get rid of that. Every single thing on here is
You
able to
want to
be
move
changed.
this around? You can. You want to add stars because you don't like that? No problem. Go to element. You're like, I want to put stars there. And let's see. We're going to remove that. That's kind of weird. We're going to put a shooting star in here. We're going to reshape it. We're going to move these guys down over here. So you can see, and I'm going to twist that a little bit. And I mean, it's infinite what you can do. I mean, it's crazy what you can do with this app. So yeah, don't overthink that and like, well, I'm not that creative. Like it's going to force you because I don't want to say force you, but it's going to force you to be creative because things are going to pop in your head. So, and if you got
that's
something
pretty cool. Thank you
it
for
is
that.
super cool. Yeah, it's really cool. So this is what I use for my marketing. Like I said, we're going to be hiring somebody else to do this. I love doing it, but we're going to be, my time needs to be spent elsewhere. Yeah, for now, this is what we're doing. It's very inexpensive. It's a super, super cool app. You can use your phone. It works on any device, laptop. I mean, because I do everything on my iPad. So it's a pretty neat system, really neat system. Any more questions? Anything else you guys would like? I guess you don't know what you don't know, but anything else you'd like us to show? Amy, anything else? Any other suggestions or anything like that?
Can you
Can you go back?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can you go back to your home screen? So there's different, if you look on the left-hand side, it says your projects. So if you go to your projects, it's not going to have all the extra stuff on your screen. It's going to be what you've designed. From there, if you're in something and you really like some designs, or you're like, when I was designing the baby shower one, I knew I wanted princess. So I was going through all the princess templates, and I was in the upper right-hand corner, you can like star them, which makes them your favorite. And then if you go back out to home and go into your projects, you'll see where it says starred. If you click on starred, it'll bring up all of those that you just starred. So you have all of them in one place. So you can go through them and look and be like, oh, okay, I don't want that one, so let me delete it. I don't want that one, that kind of thing. Also here, you can, if you see where it says team, family, first life, Genesis, you can save your own logos, you can create your own color theme for your stuff, like, the navy and the orange. There's just other things on the left-hand side there that it's more specific to you and your stuff, so that when you just go to the main page, you're not overloaded with what they're throwing at you.
It'll also start to, it'll take your, like I was showing earlier, stuff that you're using a lot, it'll start giving you suggestions, and it'll give you things on your color scheme. So Renee, you were asking, like, how did you know which one to pick? Well, if you look at our logo, hold on real quick. If you look at the Genesis logo, it's got that orangish and blue and that kind of stuff in it. So it will make recommendations based off your color palette. So then you'll go in, you'll see that it'll say, color palette, you click on it and it changed it. So all I did with your sales manager and Brian's senior sales manager was just change the background. It's the exact same format. And I know I'm not going to post one and then post the other. Nobody's going to see those posts back to back, and nobody's going to make the connection that it's the exact same thing. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the exact same format. All I did is went in and slid Brian's picture in, changed the background, and changed the name. Done.
Also, go back to your home screen again, please.
Sure.
So as I was saying, like where it says logo, under folders, you can create your own folders. So FFL images, these are old. We haven't done that for a while, but like logos, all the logos we need are in there. Squad numbers, those were templates that we would use for all the squad numbers until I started
create
using
a folder?
the Lion. Go back.
You have to I think you got to be in one of them, right?
I don't think so. It's been a while since I created one.
Well, here's
because I'd like to create one for logos, because
Well, let me make this even simpler, Amy, unless this just pops in your head. So first thing, let me do this first too, because you'll take up space in your device. So go over to that. Okay, you see the one with Renee's picture, and then it says the black and white classic wedding, and then it says unnamed design, and then it says Ram Navami. So you got the 3 dots in that particular one. I'm going to click on the 3 dots, and I'm simply going to move this to trash. We're not going to do anything with that one. It's just on there. I'm going to delete it. So that will cut out some of the clutter, right? And you can see up at the top, it says, it's basically asking if you want to undo that or not. There is a way to find those if you messed up and said, I didn't want to delete that. But what I do, Renee, you can see this says, I don't know if I can, yeah, right up to the edge of the screen, it says recent designs. This is when you go in, it's going to pull all this stuff up when you go into home. I just simply name each one of these folders. So if you want to name, like, let's say logos, if you wanted to name it logos or whatever, just like we did with the very first BMW racing one we did, I'm going to click on that one. And the top where it says CW, do you see that up at the very top right-hand corner of the screen?
Yes.
I'm going to simply tap where it says BMW racing team or racing, sorry, ticket. I'm going to tap that, and then I'm going to just change it. So if you wanted that to be your logos, and that's where you've uploaded your logos, I'm going to go back out to home. And you're going to see the name is changed. It should change here in just a second. I don't know why it didn't. I'm trying to see if there's, let me go out and come back in and see if it changed. Oh, there it goes. See, it says logo now. Left-hand side, right to the left of your picture. You see that, Renee?
Yeah, I see that the individual picture has changed, but I was asking how you created a folder. So like I could
go
put,
to your projects. I believe you do it from your projects.
okay.
Under where it says folder.
There you go.
I think when you start your Canva, it says folders. You just have to, you would add to it.
Okay.
I think it's already, you know, like it's folders, but it says blank, and then you can add to it from there. We've been doing this for so long. I don't remember exactly how the whole folders thing started.
I just seen it.
I just like things
Okay,
organized.
go back. I just seen it, just so everybody else knows. Click on the 3 dots. Move to folder.
And then
Create
you could
new.
create new. There you go. That's how you
Okay,
do it. See,
awesome.
clicking around. Sometimes you just got to click around till you find things. Another thing that I was going to say is I was just in this Canva on my phone. So 2 people can be in it at a time because nobody's, you know, it didn't change anything. I was in it while he was in it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done that before. I've seen you moving around and designing stuff.
So is it possible to have 2 people designing at the same time?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what she was just saying. Yeah.
Yeah, we do that all the time. There'll be times that I'm in there and then I'll go back to the home screen and his design will be first, which means that he got out of his after I did. So I'm like, oh, he's in there at the same time.
Anything else, guys? Gals? Cool. Well, hopefully
That's
this was
awesome.
useful use of your time. Like Renee, just as quickly as you found that, you'll find other stuff on here that Amy and I have never even scraped the surface. YouTube is a great source, you know, to be able to then look up stuff. And I guarantee you there'll be a short
all over.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'll find
Look
short,
up what you
quick
want to
videos.
find and you'll find it.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Just remember, just kind of a pro tip, I would go with the pro account. I would not do the basic one because there's going to be a lot of other stuff that you're going to see on there that you're going to want. You're going to upgrade it anyway. You cannot hurt this system. You just can't. You know, you always have the back arrow if there's something that you don't want. And, you know, just play around with it. You play around with the system, you're going to figure it out pretty darn quick. And then you'll set up, like you said, Renee, your folders. I don't know, it's just my way my mind works. I'm in here so much. I just have all these windows. I just scroll down and like, okay, happy birthday. Click on happy birthday. You know, whatever I feel for that particular person, I'll change the background or change whatever or create another one. Like Noel just had his birthday the other day. I just went in, changed a couple things and sent it out. I mean, it takes a couple seconds. Work still has to be done, but it takes a couple seconds. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for doing this, Corey.
No problem. No problem. Oh, glad
Thanks,
to help.
Corey.
Yeah, this was good. This was way better than what I thought it was. There's a whole lot of more stuff than what I thought.
I tried the basic. They had like a 14-day trial or something like that. And there was literally like 5 templates on
Yeah.
what I was searching for.
Yeah.
So I knew right away I was going to do the pro, because for $10 a month for the whole year, it just makes sense.
Yeah. And you will, once you get used to, and I know I say this all the time and I sound like a broken record. I don't mean to be offensive to anyone, but if you're trying to recruit here and you're not posting on social media, you're going to recruit family and friends. That's it. That's just all you're going to recruit. But if you post and keep posting, so we got a young man, JD Dorner, that's on our team. He's young and trying to figure things out, right? But I've known his dad forever. So JD decided, and this is not a secret, by the way. JD decided he wanted to get into insurance, and I think his dad knows, like, trying to get into the health brokerage, which his dad does. He's a practice leader at a large firm. It's going to be tough for JD because he's young. I'm still trying to figure things out. So his dad recommended he come here and work with us. Well, as we're working through, some of this stuff, I'm trying to make this a short story. As we're working through some of this stuff, the reason why Troy referred his son JD here is because he kept seeing our post. And he's like, I trust Corey because I used to work with him. I know he's in the industry for a long time. That's who I want you to work with. Well, if I wouldn't have been posting, he wouldn't have seen that. And he just made his first sale yesterday. So it's just social media posting. You guys can see it doesn't take long to generate one of these things. You build your templates, and then all you have to do is just go in there and change it. That's all you have to do. By the way, if you guys want, as long as they're, high level and not personal stuff, if you guys want to create some of these things for your teams, or when people do accomplishments and that kind of stuff, hey, we're all equal here. Please do that, because I do a lot of it, but I think it means more when it comes from you guys. So, any other questions? Amy, thank you, by the way. I couldn't have done this without you, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you guys.
No,
Thanks
appreciate
again.
you guys very much for being on and taking the time and the interest. If there's anything else we could do, or you guys want to see more of this stuff, just let us know.
Sounds
Thank you.
good.
Thanks,
Happy
guys.
Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter, guys. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Thanks a lot.
Anytime.